Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be using a new Logbait deck that I created that is, well, I kind of created. I mean, it's obviously a Logbait deck, but it's really good at putting pressure on your opponent and trying to get them to crack, especially with the Evo barrel. It's really fun to use. It's just like super high pressure deck. It has the Prince, obviously, which got the new buff, which allows it to charge really fast. And then we also have cards like Goblin Gang and Princess, which you can spam the bridge. You have Valkyrie for defense, and you have Evo Skellies, and obviously, and Dark Goblin is also a really annoying card for them to deal with. So overall, just a really spammy deck. There's no rocket, so you do have to be really aggressive in both lanes and make sure you're attacking both lanes, because if you're only attacking one, it might be too easy for them to defend and you won't be able to rocket cycle.
Yay.
And also there's no building, so you want to try to use the Prince to your advantage on if they put tanks like Electro Giant. You want to use your Prince to your advantage and save it for whenever they play that stuff. But here in this match, as you can see, I've started off pretty strong. Valkyrie does a pretty nice job of countering all of his cards. And I'm kind of just waiting for him. And he does go with the Goblin Gang here for my Skellies. Even though the Evo Skellies wouldn't have connected, he might not have known that. I just go for a Princess to shoot the Spear Goblins. And here, I knew it would be too late to log the Princess away, so I just let them take each other out. And I'm just kind of waiting for my Elixir bar to fill back up. Obviously, I don't really need to save my Prince for anything, because he doesn't have something. I mean, it's good against the Knight, but everything else, like, there's no huge tank that's a threat. So here I can just go log on the barrel. I know I'll be able to deal with the Princess, and he doesn't have it quite in cycle. Here goes Goblin Gang the bridge, so I do go split Skellies just to predict a Princess or something. And then I go Valkyrie, and I do actually catch the Princess, which is nice. I go Goblin Gang the bridge, and then I go Tricky Barrel, and he actually early logs on the Goblin Gang. And he puts everything on the right side, which was the decoy barrel, so I actually got quite a bit of damage on the left side as well, which was really nice. And that's what I'm talking about. You just want to have both towers open, because especially for using the Evo barrel, you want to be able to use the Evo barrel, but also make it worth it. Like, if you get more damage on the tower that has more health, you don't want the tower that has more health to have like 2,000 more health, and then you get like 1,500, but it still has more health than your other tower. So you always want to keep up the dual lane pressure here. Here I have two Princes alive, which is really nice. I knew he was going to log it away, but I just went Prince in front just in case. And since he logged, I also got to go for a barrel. I went for a barrel to the back, and he did go Goblin Gang, so he had to go Knight, because the barrel in the back pulled the Goblins to the back, which would have let the Prince connect. He also has to deal with the Evo Skellies on the left with his Princess, so he's not really able to put pressure on me. And I'm really just trying to keep up the pressure here, keep the momentum. If at any time he rockets me, then I can just go like Prince and try to like spam him out basically, and he won't be able to defend. Here I have another nice dual lane push. He logs on the wrong side there, and as you can see, my actual barrel gets so much damage. And my Princess does a nice job taking the Evo Skellies out. I go Skeletons to predict the Princess, we get it. So I just log that away. We just barely missed the Goblin Gang, but that doesn't really matter because I have Valkyrie. Here, we have a minute left, so I'm still just trying to keep the pressure up, go for a barrel. Goblin Gang on his barrel. He did play it smart, and he went barrel in the front, so I couldn't really get anything on it, but it's still fine. I'm still just stacking up Princesses since I'm up so much damage, not being too aggressive with Princess the bridge. But again, holding that door open to, if he rockets me, I can always just go Prince or something crazy the bridge. Still just basically going in for Goblin Barrels at this point. And I'm just having troops on the board at all time. And I block the bridge there, so I get the barrel. And I'm keeping troops down at all times, but I'm not being too aggressive unless he leaves the door open. But like here, my Valkyrie goes for the Skellies. We have 20 seconds left. I know all I have to do is defend. I can log the barrel. Here he's going to go all in, so I can just go for a Valkyrie on defense. Princess on the other side, and basically all of my troops will clean this up. So that was a nice win, just keeping the pressure down on both lanes, and you couldn't really do anything to break through. So yeah. Alright, in the next match here, we are against Simo797. And he went with the wizard, so I thought, okay, it's probably a giant or maybe an RG deck. Here I just split the skeletons for the wizard, and then I go Dark Goblin, but I kind of messed the Dark Goblin up. I could have just split Skellies farther back, and the Dark Goblin wouldn't have died, but it's okay. He goes RG the back, so I go Valkyrie the back, because if you're in this type of matchup where he has RG and I know he has Fisherman, and the only high DPS unit I have is Prince, I want to put Valkyrie in front so the Fisherman doesn't grab the Prince. Because if the Fisherman grabs the Prince and then let's say he just logs or barrels away the Goblin Gang, I have nothing. Here, unfortunately, it still does end up grabbing the Prince, and somehow the RG survives on 1 HP and gets another shot. And I call the early good game because I don't know if there's any... it's just really annoying to come back from here. I just have to keep up such good pressure. So here... And he's even up Elixir too after that, which is really annoying. He went in for an RG push and he's still up Elixir. But yeah, so here I'm just hoping it takes off the shield. It does. I know that's a dead wizard unless he goes for anything. Honestly, he probably could have gone for an Evo RG there and been fine, but it's a good thing for me he didn't. I just go Princess Bridge to spam, and I should have gone Goblin Gang to protect it, but I wasn't fast enough because I accidentally selected my Dark Goblin, so I knew I wouldn't be able to select my Goblin Gang and place it fast enough, but that's okay. Here I went for the early Dark Goblin to snipe down the Phoenix, which wasn't the best idea because I was down quite a bit of Elixir, and I did get the Prince charge, but my Valkyrie came down a little late, and that allowed the RG to get 3 shots on the tower. And here it looks even more hopeless. The only good thing going for me is that he doesn't have Evo Wizard. I just split Goblin Gang. I wasn't sure if the egg was going to die or not. He did go Wizard in the middle, so I could just go Princess the back. I knew I couldn't go Princess the bridge. I had to stack him up. He does go Void, so I saw some sort of opportunity here with my Evo Barrel. I went Prince the back in the opposite lane, and then even though he did go for a Phoenix, I went Valkyrie and then Tricky Barrel. And he actually, he went with the Bar Barrel on the wrong side, and he went for the E-Spirit for the Prince, but it jumped on the Valkyrie. And look at the left side, guys. That tower was full HP, and now it's down to 700. That's how good the Evo Barrel can be if you can trick your opponents. I go for an early Evo Skellies knowing he won't expect it. Unfortunately, the Prince charge does hit the Barbarian, but the RGs does still die. And here, yeah, I just end up taking the tower with the Evo Skellies. I just had too much stuff down. But yeah, that Evo Barrel can just come in clutch sometimes. You just gotta really outplay them. But in the next match here, we are against this guy, just starting with early annoying pressure, forcing out the Mother Witch with my Princess, going Valkyrie the bridge, again putting pressure on him because he has to defend that Valkyrie. He does go with the Bandit, so I just go with the Barrel, knowing I can defend the Bandit with the Skellies. And now we're about even in Elixir, but I obviously have my Princess damage. And here, he does go for a Zap on my tower, so I just go for a Dark Goblin to bridge. I didn't really have a great cycle. I didn't want to go Dark Goblin in the back. I guess I could have gone Dark Goblin in the back, but it's fine. I just go for a Prince to clean up the Knight. And then he goes Goblin Machine, and I'm like, oh man, not Goblin Machine. But the Prince does do a pretty nice job against it. So here I can just go for a, yeah, I think I go Princess and then Goblin Gang. Yeah, I go Goblin Gang. Because I want to save the Valkyrie for, well, possibly P.E.K.K.A if I need a tank, but also things like the Bandit, so he can't just spell my stuff away and get a cheeky Bandit connection and stuff like that. So I want the Valkyrie. And also, the Rocket obviously doesn't shoot if you put your troops right against it, so I knew the Goblin Gang would be fine. And here, I'm kind of leaking. I decided to go Dark Goblin in the back this time. Doesn't really matter though. I didn't really have a great cycle. He goes for a good night. I just log. I'm just again cycling, and kind of just like an awkward cycle. But I do see I have Evo Barrel next, so I go with the Prince, knowing I might be able to catch him off guard with an Evo Barrel if I can go Valkyrie. But he also has the Bandit down, so because he had the Bandit down, I wouldn't have been able to get the Valkyrie across the bridge. But I still go for it anyways, I guess. I could have waited because he put the Goblin Machine there, but it still got so much damage. We took half the tower on the left, even with the decoy goblins, because... And it forced his Evo Zap out, so that was just still such a good barrel. If you guys have tanks, like, or in this deck specifically, both Prince and Valkyrie down on either side, that's a really good time to go for it. But here he was forced to use arrows on the Skellies, and then the Goblin Barrel got so much damage too. So now, both lanes are looking pretty low for him. I go for a Dark Goblin to snipe the P.E.K.K.A, and I go for a Prince to take the Rocket so my Dark Goblin doesn't die. And then here I know, okay, I'm in a little bit of trouble. I gotta go for a Valkyrie up high and a Goblin Gang to snipe down the Mother Witch. But then he zapped, so I knew I had the log or the Mother Witch was gonna be annoying. And somehow I got the Prince charge on the Little Prince, so that was nice. And he messed up the Knight, so I did get a Princess shot on the tower. So here, I'm looking really, really good. He doesn't have much tower, but like I said, the one thing with this deck is I obviously don't have Rocket, so it's really hard for me to finish off the tower. So I have to keep playing defense here, and it's not going to be easy if he goes in for some crazy push. Here I'm completely fine. I go Princess the Bridge. That's why you need dual lane pressure. I would have never been able to go Princess the Bridge on the right side for the rest of the match, basically. But now he has to worry about both lanes. Just split Goblin Gang in the middle for the Bandit. I'm not sure I need to do that. The Bandit might have died. I go with a nice Evo Barrel, and I actually get Dark Goblin plus stabs on the left and a few stabs plus Spear Goblin shots on the right. So now his towers are even lower. But here, he has a huge push coming. He has a P.E.K.K.A and a Goblin Machine, and that is like the most annoying push ever. And I'm getting nervous here. I'm like, oh no, did I just throw? I hate these decks so much, man. But I'm just playing defense. I went Dark Goblin on the left because I knew he couldn't arrow the Dark Goblin and the Princess at the same time. And he didn't have enough elixir to pop the ability till later. So here, I was feeling pretty confident. I went Skellies in front of the Dark Goblin just to protect it for a bit longer. And the Goblin Machine was coming down. I went for Princess to help snipe the Goblin Machine. And I knew I could go for Goblin Gang there and Valkyrie there. I didn't want to waste the Prince because I was saving the Prince for the P.E.K.K.A to get the charge on the P.E.K.K.A, or else the P.E.K.K.A would never die. I did get a nice Goblin stab on the right side tower, and I logged the left side tower. His towers are even lower now. He does go with the Bandit on the right side. I go for Goblin Gang, and my Prince charge on the left does get the P.E.K.K.A down low. And my Valkyrie is cleaning it up nicely, but because he's placing stuff on the left, I know I have to play a Dark Goblin and hope that takes out the Goblin Machine on the right, which it does. Otherwise, I completely ignored it. It was completely fine taking 2,000 damage because I'm up so much. And as you guys can see, I was able to defend the left side, which was all that was important. And yeah, just kept up the pressure, and he couldn't fully break through at the end there. Yay. And hopping into the last match here against Rolls of Sushi. By the way, don't forget to join the Discord if you guys want a free friend link and be able to be in future viewer tournaments and 1v1 me once we get to 100 subscribers for a diamond pass.
Just sharpening my knife.
Yeah, so I'm in this game. This guy has a pretty spammy deck as well. He goes for the drill. I go for kind of a late Goblin Gang, but it's okay because I only end up taking one stab. So I just go for a Prince, just being super aggressive because I don't know what he has. He does go with the recruits, which means I know he's on low elixir, but also it's going to be kind of annoying to defend this. He goes with the wall breakers, but because the Princess is shooting the left side, I knew Log wouldn't take out the wall breakers at all, but somehow the Dagger Duchess shot one of them, so only one of them hit my tower. I was able to go Valkyrie in front of the Princess as well. I just wanted to keep the Princess alive and keep the pressure up. And as you guys can see, he's on 0 elixir, so my barrel got so much. And when he played that Royal Ghost, when they play a Royal Ghost on your barrel and it's that late, that usually means they're on 0 elixir. So I just went for a Goblin Gang. I knew he was probably at 0. Then I went for a Dark Goblin plus Evo Skellies because I knew the Ghost would go invisible and I didn't want to take that damage. So it did force my Evo Skellies out, but I was up some damage. He went for a Bandit, and here I went for a Princess and I said oops, because if I had gone for a Princess a little bit over, the Princess would have still survived. But that was more of just a reaction time thing for me because I was not expecting him to go Bandit there, so it's fine. I'm just glad I didn't take the Bandit charge. So here, I'm kind of just waiting. He does go with the Princess, so I just wait for the late log to see if he'd defend it with anything. He doesn't. I am still up a bit of damage as well, so here, I just go with the Goblin Gang on the drill, and this time I do actually catch the Goblin, so no hits taken. I go with the barrel on the tower. He goes Evo recruits the back. He's trying to set up a super big push and probably go dual lane as well. Here the ghost is coming, so I just skellies. And that was a really interesting bandit wall breakers, because I can just go for a prince. Plus princess completely taking that out. And he went for a pretty late Evo firecracker, because I was just able to log it away, and it's not even hitting my tower right now. Unfortunately, my left side tower does take some hits from the recruit, but now my towers are evened up, so it's fine. It's nothing too fatal, but I do have to be careful of the left side tower now as well. I go for the tricky barrel just because I kind of have to. I don't have a great cycle. And my Dark Goblin's actually getting a ton of damage on the right. His Bandit and Ghost are coming up, but I know I can just go for a Valkyrie on that. He goes Prince as well, so I just go Dark Goblin down low to help snipe it. And then I go for Evo Skellies at the last second to keep the Dark Goblin alive and help take out the Firecracker. We go for the barrel on the tower, just trying to get any more damage we can. He does a nice job blocking it, but I do get a cheeky Princess shot off on the tower, and I log the wall breakers away. Here, I have quite a bit of stuff down, but so does he. He's going for the drill, and he has a recruit charging, so I go for a clutch Dark Goblin right in the middle so that he can't shoot it with the Firecracker, but it also shot the drill and the recruit from both sides. He does get the Firecracker shot though, so I do get a bit nervous. I go with the barrel, and luckily he has nothing for the barrel, so that does take the tower. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.